In a small, forgotten village nestled among rolling hills and dusty roads, lived a young boy named Ishan. His world was small, defined by the cracked mud walls of his home and the vast, empty fields that promised little. Every morning he'd watch the sunrise, painting the sky with colors he only dreamed of possessing. Poverty was a heavy blanket, covering his family in a constant chill of worry. His father, a farmer with hands as tough as leather, worked tirelessly, but the land was unforgiving. His mother's gentle smiles couldn't hide the sadness in her eyes. Ishan's stomach often rumbled with a hunger that went beyond food. It was a hunger for a different life, a life where dreams weren't just for sleeping. He saw the other children in the village, their laughter echoing a resignation he refused to accept. They played games of pretend, but their futures felt all too real, destined to mirror their parents' struggles. Ishan was different. He held a secret fire in his heart, a quiet determination that flickered brightly in his dark, curious eyes. He knew, with a certainty that defied his young age, that his story would not end where it began. He didn't know how, but he knew he had to find a way to rewrite his destiny. His journey began not with a grand gesture, but with a single, small stone. One day, while wandering by the river, he found a smooth, gray stone perfect for skipping. As it danced across the water's surface, an idea sparked. What if he could turn these simple stones into something more? He began collecting them, not just any stones, but the most beautiful ones with unique colors, strange shapes, and sparkling veins of quartz. He would spend hours washing them in the river until they shone, then carefully arrange them in small piles outside his home. The villagers thought it was just a child's game, another way to pass the long, empty days. They'd smile and pat his head, unaware of the blueprint forming in his mind. Ishan's first customer was a traveler, a kind-faced woman whose car had broken down near the village. While waiting for help, she noticed Ishan's collection. She was charmed by the simple beauty of the stones and the earnest look on the boy's face. She bought a small heart-shaped one, giving him a coin that felt heavier than any stone he had ever held. That single coin was more than money. It was proof. It was validation. It was the first drop of rain after a long drought. Holding it tightly in his palm, Ishan felt the fire inside him roar. He wasn't just a poor boy from a forgotten village anymore. He was a businessman. With his first earning, he didn't buy a toy or a sweet. He bought a small, tattered notebook and a pencil stub from the village's only shop. That night, by the dim light of a kerosene lamp, he started to write. He practiced letters and numbers, copying words from an old newspaper his father had used to wrap vegetables. His hands were clumsy, his letters shaky, but with every stroke, he was building a bridge out of his circumstances. He knew that knowledge was a currency more valuable than any coin. He would ask travelers who passed through to teach him a new word, a new number, a new idea. Each piece of information was a treasure, a secret key he collected to unlock a world he couldn't yet see. His small stone business grew. He learned which stones were popular, what colors people liked. He started arranging them into patterns, creating little mosaics and figures. He saved every single coin. It was a slow, painstaking process. Some days he sold nothing, and the familiar ache of hunger would return. Doubt would whisper in his ear, telling him he was just a boy playing with rocks, fooling himself. But then he would look at his notebook, at the pages filling up with his own writing, and he would remember the feeling of that first coin. He learned to be patient, to understand that great things are built not in a day, but one small, consistent action at a time. It was like building a wall, one stone upon another, until it was strong enough to protect him from the storms of despair. Years passed. The small boy grew into a young man. His face still held the same quiet determination, but his eyes now held a depth of knowledge and experience. His small stall of painted stones had become a local landmark. He had saved enough money to buy books, real books with clean pages and endless worlds inside. He devoured them, reading about history, science, and business. He learned about the world beyond his village, a world of cities, technology, and infinite possibilities. The villagers, who once saw him as a peculiar child, now looked at him with a mixture of awe and respect. He was no longer just Ishan. He was the boy who had spun stones into hope. But Ishan knew the stones were just the beginning. His village was rich in a different kind of resource, the skilled hands of its people. The women were expert weavers, the men gifted carpenters, but they had no way to sell their crafts beyond the local market. Ishan saw an opportunity. Using the business sense he had honed selling stones and the knowledge he had gained from his books, he came up with a plan. He proposed they form a cooperative. He would use his savings to buy better raw materials and then help them sell their products to the wider world. He spoke of websites, of shipping, of reaching customers hundreds of miles away. It was a language they didn't understand, a dream that seemed too big, too audacious. There was resistance. They were afraid of change, of the unknown. "We are simple people, Ishan," an elder told him. "This is our life. Why risk the little we have for a dream that might fail?" Ishan understood their fear. He had felt it himself countless times. But he also knew that staying still was the greatest risk of all. He didn't argue. Instead, he showed them. He built a simple website on a borrowed computer in a nearby town. He took beautiful photographs of their intricate weavings and handcrafted furniture. He wrote descriptions that told the story behind each piece, the story of their village, their traditions, their lives. The first online order came a month later. It was from a city dweller who had fallen in love with a hand-woven shawl. The excitement in the village was electric. It was just like that first coin all over again, but this time, the validation wasn't just for him. It was for his entire community. The orders started to trickle in, then flow. The rhythmic clatter of looms and the scent of freshly cut wood filled the air once more, but this time it was accompanied by a new sound, the sound of hope. Ishan managed the logistics, the finances, the communication. He taught the younger generation how to use computers, how to reply to emails, how to pack and ship their precious cargo. He was building more than a business. He was building a future. Today, the village is transformed. The mud huts have been replaced by sturdy brick homes. There's a new school, with a library filled with books that Ishan himself donated. The children don't have the same hunger in their eyes. They have the spark of possibility. The fields are still there, but they are no longer the only source of survival. The village is now known for its beautiful handicrafts, a beacon of artisanal excellence. And Ishan, he never left. He could have moved to the city, become a wealthy businessman, and left his past behind. But he understood that true success isn't about escaping where you come from. It's about lifting it up with you. He still walks by the river sometimes, the same river where he found that first smooth stone. He sees children playing there now, and in their hands they don't just hold stones. They hold dreams. Ishan's story is a powerful reminder that our circumstances do not have to define us. It's a testament to the fact that the largest transformations often begin with the smallest actions. It is about finding your own stones, whatever they may be, and having the courage and consistency to build something with them. It's about the fire within us, the hunger for a better life, and the incredible power of one small, unwavering hope. His journey teaches us that no matter how forgotten our village, or how heavy our blanket of poverty, we all have the power to rewrite our story. One stone, one word, one day at a time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and share if this story inspired you.